What's going on, people? How you doing? This is TK coming at you. Just want to talk to you guys today about change. And I'm thinking about, just what it takes to influence people. You have a lot of social influencers on media that pretty much propagate nonsense. But what does it take to actually influence someone to do something financially smart? I mean, think about money in terms of the everyday person. I mean, you're happy with whatever money you make at work. You pretty much think about ways that you can stack more paper. And I typically ask people the question, what are you doing to get ahead financially? I mean, is your financial plan simply making more money? Is making more money a solution to getting ahead financially? Because people don't factor in things like inflation, things like paper money devaluing. You just feel like the only interface to success is you participating in some sort of paper. And some people say, well, I have more than one job, or I have investments in the stock market. But okay, so you're putting all your weight in having more paper money. What kind of alternatives are out there in terms of doing something different? And that's what I try to talk to you guys about, doing something different and an alternative to having a second job. The primary thing that I think a lot of people overlook is making your money get a job and implementing some of the strategies that the super rich do on a day-to-day basis. And then my thought process is, if you do what the rich do, maybe you can get some of the same results. But conveying that concept to others seems to be like talking to a brick wall. And the only thing I've done different is I've focused on assets. I've really focused on taking paper money and converting it into some sort of accumulating value or appreciating asset that helps me over time. And some people say, well, who are you to give me financial advice? I mean, you're not a millionaire. You're not super rich. And the concept is everybody wants now. No one wants to wait. We're in a microwave society where you want fame and fortune, but you don't want the work that comes with that accumulation. So I may not be a millionaire, but I do focus on converting paper to assets. I spend a lot on gold, silver, and Bitcoin, and that's something that appreciates. It doesn't diminish, it doesn't devalue. So I may not be the richest person on the planet, but I'm in a richer position because I'm not holding all of my eggs in one basket. I'm not focusing on paper. So if you think about that and you make a different decision, you actually start to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin whenever you have the paper money to do so, then it's a slow process. It's accumulating over time, and a lot of people aren't time focused. In other words, you don't have a 5-year outlook or a 10-year outlook. You're thinking about right now, and the fact that if I buy gold, it doesn't mean anything. It just sits. And you don't look at it as insurance. You don't look at it as a financial backup plan in case something goes haywire. Because in a good economy, gold doesn't mean anything. But in a bad economy, you'll spend less gold than somebody spending paper. If you had a gold bar, you could probably negotiate a deal where you're going to pay for a house, whereas somebody else would have to pay double the amount. So it's an insurance policy, and it's a concept that you have to have some sort of long-term outlook in order to participate in it. So I can understand why the average person says gold and silver is not my interest. You know, they're not thinking long term. And everyone feels like what's going on right now is what's going to go on forever. But indicators within the market says that's not true. Indicators say that times are changing. The industry, the financial industry is shifting, and we're moving to more of a situation where those people who don't have insurance are going to find themselves in trouble. So I just try to encourage you guys to have a plan B. You know, don't put all your eggs in a paper basket and expect to be successful. You know, one person said on comments, well, I have $80,000 in the bank. And working overseas as a contractor, you know, a lot of people make $80,000 or more on salary. So maybe it's easy to save, say, $100,000 in the bank. But if you don't have a job, that $100,000 might not last you 6 months. So my only point is that paper devalues the longer you hold it. It doesn't really keep up with inflation, no matter how much paper you have. And super rich people don't keep their money in paper. You know, they convert their money into other assets: gold, silver, Bitcoin, land, other businesses. So to suggest that you should do the same thing is not too far-fetched. It's really sitting in a situation where all you have to do is make a different decision. And that's what I pull back to that comment of social influencers in terms of making participating in other people making decisions. You know, I try to influence people to get ahead of the game through assets. And if you become asset focused, you're going to be in a different position than somebody who's paper focused. So you may not be a millionaire overnight, but you will be in a better position. And that's the only thing I try to stress. You know, I've reached a point through Bitcoin mining where I'm at $20 a day. And that may seem like chump change. That's like bullshit. But $20 a day in an alternative ecosystem that's not a part of the transatlantic banking system is a real statement. Because not only is it outside of the money I make at work, it's outside of centralized control. So the key thing to understand is your money centralized or is your money decentralized? Because if you build in a separate ecosystem alongside fiat currency, you're building something that is stronger. You know, cryptocurrency is a worldwide transparent means to exchange without participating in a bank. Essentially, you become the bank when you have cryptocurrency because you control the assets in your wallet. There's no middleman, there's no third party counter risk. So it's a different system. And if you're building an income in a different system outside of a normal bank, then you're ahead of the game. So it doesn't matter if it's $10, $20, or any dollars, because it's a equivalent value as it applies to paper money, but it's not in paper money. It's in Bitcoin. So start mining. Get to the point where you scale up your mining so that your mining income replaces your job income. All you have to do is keep buying mining contracts. So that $20 a day, eventually, I wanted to see it achieve $2,000 a day. And all I have to do is continuously buy more mining contracts. So there are solutions outside of a job. And there are solutions outside of paper money. You know, you can get involved in Bitcoin investment banking platforms that allow Bitcoin to get a job and work to bring more Bitcoin back into your house. I just participated, or I just made a withdrawal from my Bitcoin investment banking platform which will allow me to pay for Christmas. So, in other words, you need something working for you. You need to set yourself up outside of that $4 an hour you get at work. You need to make a decision to say, you know what? Now that I have Bitcoin, I'm going to invest it in a platform that multiplies it so that I have one more thing working for me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you a millionaire. It just makes you a person that has income outside of your job. You know, get to the point where you have a business. If you have a traditional brick and mortar business, you know that you can offer Bitcoin as a payment option to your customers and receive cryptocurrency that way. So you can mine Bitcoin, you can sell it through a traditional business, or offer it to your customers through a traditional business. You can just convert directly from your fiat currency into Bitcoin. I told you guys that I typically convert about $500 every payday, and in between paydays, the 2 weeks, I gain about $100 on the $500 that I converted last payday. So the equity gains that you see in Bitcoin rival the 1% that you see in a bank account. And that's another reason to have a separate system that's not a part of fiat currency working for you. Now, some people say, why do you make videos? Why do you care? Why do you even try to get people interested in this? And before I started looking for something outside of my job, extra money, nobody helped me. Nobody gave me information. Nobody said, look at this, look at that. I just had to study on my own, pick up information, and then make some different decisions. So if I can influence some of you guys to make some different decisions and then actually put forth action to get some different results, then my karma will pay it a lot more than any physical money can pay me. So the reason I talk to you guys about income strategies is because I've gone down the road and may not have accomplished much, but have stepped into a different world or a different method of generating income. And I would like to see other people to jump into this arena and become Bitcoin enthusiasts, cryptocurrency participants, gold and silver stackers, and really get in the mindset of making your money work for you as opposed to you working for money until you die.